You are meant to live an extraordinary life. And think about what that word means, extraordinary, meaning that you're not going to be like anyone else, but you were born to live that extraordinary life. That was the purpose of your birth. But you might have forgotten that a little bit because that can happen as we move through the world, and especially as we're moving through the world now. I got up today and my Wilhelm says, let's give them more information. And they sent me back to a message on this date 5 years ago that said, sometimes you accept yourself before you die. And so I'm going to do that today. You see, Wilhelm has given me a philosophy that will change your life and change our world. And I thought, wow, that can't possibly have happened. Why could it have come through me? How did that happen? Well, you have something as well that's going to come through you that's going to be really brilliant when you decide to own it and understand what it is. And my life led me to develop something and to bring it in through Wilhelm that would give you the ability to create the life you want to have. There's nothing that's happening in your life or in our world that's accidental. It's all energy. We come to understand that at certain times, either in our lives or in our civilization, because people develop things that will tell us we can change things. But you might be looking at your life or the world, and especially the United States after last night, and thinking, oh, wow, everything has gone wrong and everything's horrible. And it's exactly the opposite. It's now when you're meant to love yourself. Now is when you're supposed to awaken to who you are and live that really wonderful life that you're supposed to have. And see, I happen to know that it is you because it is every single person, but I resisted it. I resisted it just like you probably have resisted something in your life. And then everyone else told me that it didn't make sense. I was out of my mind. I couldn't possibly know all of this. And so I continued to believe that, which you might have done as well. You know, something you were meant to do, and you thought, I can't be that person. And then you operate from that imposter syndrome. I heard a gymnast speaking about that the other day, a world-class gymnast saying, wow, I had to do something, but then my imposter syndrome stepped in. We all have that. I've had it for many years, but I have to leave it now. At 74, they were saying, my guides were saying, when are you going to finally accept who you are? That's you, because you do have something. The only difference is I was given a way for you to find it. And that's what I'm going to do now. We're moving through an energetic change, and energy is all that manifests anything. So if we're staying stuck and not becoming who we're meant to be, the energy of the world doesn't change, and we keep creating disasters as we have seen recently happening in our world. And then I can sit and know that I have something that could make it all better, but I could have been a little afraid just as you were. But see, fear is what stops you. Fear halts your progression. That was the message from yesterday that again came 5 years ago. But you will start to understand there's a cycle to everything, a cycle in your life, a cycle in the world, a cycle in the universe, but we just start to understand it at different times. I could never have told you that I was going to tap into universal consciousness that was going to give me something that would change your life. But that's what happened. And I'll leave the link so that you will read it for yourself, because now is the time that you're supposed to be happy, you're supposed to be abundant, you're supposed to be prosperous, you're supposed to be all of those things. And you're going to listen to me saying that now and think that doesn't even make sense. I can't see it. I don't see it in the world. That's because you haven't created it yet. That's because we're each meant to do that. I was just given a role to help you create what you're meant to do in this world. And that's what I'm going to do now. And it doesn't matter who you are, what you've done, what you've achieved, what you haven't done, none of that. Because, see, I connect to consciousness, and that's every single soul. The difference in this philosophy that Wilhelm says that we had left out certain things. This is why the world didn't change. We didn't let go of our differences about race and gender and wealth and all of those things. And we forgot about the soul of each person. And so Wilhelm says, we're going to give you something that will allow each person to connect to who they really are. There are no people that were born that shouldn't be in the world, but we keep making distinctions because we've been taught to do that. That's all. So this one document that I got up today because it was something that we all experience and we're still experiencing it today, and it's going to go on for a while. And it's not just in my country in the United States, but it's across the world because we are all interconnected. That's the thing that we come to find. And we're moving into an age of our world where that connectedness becomes more important. But then you're going to have to choose because many people will go into separation, meaning, nope, everybody's not okay. Some people aren't shouldn't be here. Some people don't have value and worth. And so you have to decide if you have it. That's an internal job and no one can do it but you. But we do have guidance to help us get there, and I was given that guidance. But nothing is happening accidentally, and over the last several years, Wilhelm has told me exactly where we would be and what would be happening, even to last night, and even to this day, as a matter of fact, because there is an organization in the world that we come to understand. Different scientists and philosophers and all of them have figured out certain things, and so did I. I didn't figure it out. It was given to me. We have different states of consciousness. When I'm accessing Wilhelm, I'm accessing another level of consciousness that I didn't understand, didn't even know that I was doing it. And then it came out to be organized, which made no sense, except the fact is it works and it healed my life and many other people as well. So now what we're going to do is take it much bigger. But I'm going to leave you with this first because I want you to check out all the links and everything that's here. Because the more of us who understand that we're at a time where if we decide that we're going to move beyond our fear and doubt of who we are and love ourselves, that we will change the world. That is scientifically proven, and you will start to understand that. But here is the document I'm going to leave with you because it has so much information, and then you'll see other links in my description of this YouTube video that I'd love for you to see as well, because it's time for you to live that extraordinary life. Whether you do it with us, with Wilhelm, with this work, or whatever it might be, it's time for you to do it. And as you move through this, as you read this, and all of the little documents I put there, you will come to understand it. It's your consciousness. And you have to ask yourself, what would make you any less worthy or valuable than any other soul on the planet? The answer is nothing other than you becoming willing to discover and own who you are. And hopefully, as Wilhelm says, you will do it before you die. This is the message. And it is this. Yes, you are meant to live an extraordinary life. And what I did was I took the messages from 2020. I was just guided a few weeks ago because I knew in 2020 they had told us everything that was going to be happening in the world now. And so I put them into artificial intelligence just to have them analyze. And you will see that the themes are exactly what we are looking at now in our lives and in our world. And love is the ultimate power. When we get to that, that was the first thing they wanted us to understand as we were moving through this change, because we were going to see a lot of things that did not look like love, but we need to find that within ourselves. Then we can see that we're moving through generational beliefs and family healing. Everything that's happening now was given. And why were we so angry? Well, there was an explanation for that as well, because you become angry and frustrated when you can't move beyond something in your life to create what you want, but you can when you understand how to go about it. Fear of the unknown. That's what we're all moving through, and Wilhelm advised us of that because we were going to see things in our world we had never seen before. And so, but to understand it's leading us to somewhere great. Recognizing energetic connections and purpose. And that was something that was so challenging for me to recognize. Wait a minute, if they're giving me things that are in order, this whole divine plan thing, is that real? It's real. Breaking down old systems. Now you will see these. I just put these in an order just so that you would see what they were. They were analyzed by the artificial intelligence. But at the bottom, I put all the original messages so that you can read all of it. And then you can see the conclusion. Wilhelm's messages from 2020 directly relate to today's world as we continue through this restructuring. The themes of self love, unity, balance, and choosing between love and fear remain central. The U.S. is at the forefront of this transition, embodying the struggle between old paradigms, fear, division, inequality, and new ones, love, unity, evolution. Each person is being called to take responsibility for their transformation because that is how the world itself will change. Now, that's a lot of information, and I want you to think about it. But the thing that you must think about is you. Why are you here? Why were you born? You have worth, you have value, and so you might be feeling a little uncomfortable now, but that's only because you're being asked to move to a higher state of understanding and acceptance of yourself, and that's what this work is. That's what I was given. That's what the Wilhelm solution to your life is. And that's what I'm rebranding and calling it all of that because that's what it is. There's nothing that they have not given us that wouldn't help you live the life you're supposed to have. And eventually, if enough people do that, then the world would be different as well because you wouldn't be hating yourself or others. We were talking about this yesterday, and um, one of my associates says, well, maybe we should just use we can eliminate self-hatred. And they thought they were making a joke. And I said, no, that's real. See, because if you were to do that, if you were only to remove your self-hatred, your life would be so brilliant. And just think if more people would do that, we'd have a very different life for you and a different world. That's what this work is. Enjoy the gifts and know that today is the time that you can start to live the life that you're meant to have. And that will be the best contribution that you could also make to our world. See you soon.